Assalamu alaikum. Today you will learn cookies in Java. Before moving on, please be informed that this is the 12th tutorial in the series. So please go through the previous tutorials if you have not gone through that already. So without any further ado, let's get started. We have already covered request dispatcher, URL mapping, HTTP session. Now we are going to learn about cookies. Since we have already covered sessions in the previous tutorial, let me comment this out. And in our first servlet, let me create the object for cookies. In this, we need to pass the data in the form of key and value. So let me grab this. So let's use the key that we have been using so far. And this is the data, right? So in order to send this cookie object along with the response, we say response.addCookie. In this, we will pass the cookie object. So here, as you can guess, we can pass multiple objects using addCookie method. And finally, using the response.sendRedirect, let me just copy this from here. Response.sendRedirect and mention the servlet name or the mapping for the servlet name. So now that we have added our cookie object in the response and send it to the second servlet, let's hop on to our second servlet. Here what we need to do, we need to catch that cookie object. So let me just comment this part over here. And for this, we need to say request.getCookie. And we have to store it in a variable. Now here's the tricky part. Since we can add multiple cookies in this response, so here it is expecting a list of cookies. So how do we deal with the list? We create an array. And let's import this. So here we have created the array. So here we are getting the cookie object and we are storing it in the array. And now we want to get the cookie with the key name key, right? Now this cookie array can have multiple objects. Remember I said we can add multiple cookies inside a response using addCookie method. But in the second servlet, it does not know that it has only one object. So what we are going to do, we are going to iterate over this array and get the cookie with the key name key. So how we are going to do this? Using enhanced for loop. So I'll say for each cookie inside array cookie So here what I'm doing is I'm iterating over this cookie and finding out the cookie that we require. So how do we do this? We will say if the name of the cookie matches with name key, since that we are passing from the first servlet, then we will be simply printing out that on the web page. So if the cookie matches with this key, we want to get the value of it. Simply say c.getValue and let's store it in a variable. Now save everything and let's run this. Right click, run on server, save everything, restart the server. Click on the submit button and yes, our code is running fine. But now let's understand how this is working. So when the user enters his name and clicks on the submit button, the control goes to the first servlet. In the first servlet, since we are using cookies, so we have created an object for the cookies. This object contains the data, which is username that we have entered. And then simply added this object in the response object. After that, we have simply called the sendRedirect method and called the second servlet. In the second servlet, we get the cookies. Since there can be multiple objects inside the cookie, so we have stored it into an array. Since it can have multiple objects or multiple key value pair, we want to get the value whose key is name key, since this is what has been passed from the first servlet and this is what we want. So once we found out that the object is there, we want to get the value of it. And after getting the value, we are simply printing it out on the server. I hope this is clear for you. If you have any questions, just post it in the comment section. I will respond to that. In the next tutorial, we will be looking into the concept of JSP and how does it works. Thank you.